auction room here this afternoon. My name's Grant Child. My role is to simply facilitate proceedings here today and of course assist you on the final leg of your property journeys, whether you are buying or whether you are selling. We wish you the very best in your endeavours. So take this liberty at this point in time also to welcome our viewers watching via the live stream as well. Our options go out on the World Wide Web for everybody to see. So some of those buyers, some of those folks that are viewing are telephone bidders, and of course we wish you the best in your endeavours as well. Robin will look after all the technology in the auction room. We've also got my colleague Jordan Sibride. He'll be calling the 2:30 session for us this afternoon. To those folks across the bottom of the screen, two Craigs, Karen and Trevor, they are here today as part of our management team. They are our negotiation team. If your bids don't take me to the owner's reserve price, we'll pause the auction, give you the opportunity to keep discussing with our sellers here today. Obviously, because we are below the reserve price, if we can reach agreement, it will come back and we'll put it back to the floor and the property will be sold to the highest bidder. But to be very, very clear, folks, if we formally close any of the options today, anybody can come forward, and that does include conditional buyers afterwards. And if we do have registered conditional interest in any of the properties, we'll alert you to that prior to the bidding, just so that you know exactly what's going on behind the scenes with each individual property. Documentation, well, that's pretty clear and concise. The buyers and sellers guide been around for a long time, available in the stand outside of the auction room as well. So I need not go through that. It just gives you all the advice that you need to get yourself into a position to bid and buy at auction. Of course, that is on a cash unconditional basis. So straight to the contract of sale that we work to, get circulated in draft form. Finalised copies also available in the same stand as you came into the entrance into the foyer. If there's been any additions, deletions or amendments to those contracts, I will alert you to that prior to your bidding. But a clear, concise document in my opinion, so pretty straightforward, and your bidding tells me that you have read, understood and accepted that contract. Just going to quickly revisit the draft. The conduct of options set out on the front page. That's what you see up there on the screen. I'm not going to go through that in its entirety, just some important points I alert you to, and that is of course your obligations on completion of the option, if you are the successful purchaser, is of course to sign the contract and pay your deposit, just a tenth of the purchase price payable today, and of course the balance is then payable on settlement date. All transacted through your solicitors, so you don't need to worry too much about that as well. The other thing I just alert you to, folks, is if we've only got one person participating in the auction, then I will work alongside you and assist you to get you to that negotiating platform, and I'll do that by what we call vendor bids. There's nothing to be afraid of as far as vendor bids are concerned. I will disclose them to you very clearly. Never used anywhere near the vendor's reserve price. It is simply a technique that I'll use if we've only got one person participating in the auction, working with you. Once I've got you to that point where the vendors are happy to continue discussions with you, we'll pause the auction from there. So pretty straightforward process. Any questions at this juncture before we press on and offer you our first property for the afternoon? First of all, 22 of them presenting to the floor today. No questions? Excellent. 22C Seychelles Drive was a property that was scheduled to be auctioned today, marketed by David Brown from our Papamoa office. That vendor received a pre-auction offer early in the campaign and elected to sell the property early. So very clear indication that things are still happening in the real estate market out there, folks. Good idea to register your interest with auction properties. If we do get early interest, then we do get to notify everybody. So moving along to the first property for the afternoon, 78 Pacific View Road. Duke Murray being the principal marketing consultant, but being looked after by Sam and Bronwyn over here on my right hand side out of the Mount office, and Duke's absence away on bereavement leave at this point in time. So you're doing a great job of looking after the business while Duke has been away, team, so fantastic. In particular this one at 78 Pacific View Road with a cracking location, the recent refurbishment. This property has to make a shortlist for any discerning buyers, I would suggest. Looking at the legal aspects of the property, it's a freehold estate, 660 square metres of land, more or less is what's on offer, all described in regular code, let's say 55B folio 266. Additional clause in the contract I just make reference to, folks. First one, clause 23, the vendors having not been in occupation of the property make no warranties as to the serviceability of the fixtures and fittings. Clause 24, notwithstanding clause 5.4 of the agreement, the vendor only warrants to provide the purchase of 2 front door keys and 2 garage remotes and 2 sliding gate remotes on the settlement date. Then obviously that clause 5.4 relating to the handover of keys. And clause 25, purchasers acknowledge that whilst the bathroom and ensuite tiling renovations were undertaken by a trade certified tiler using an approved waterproofing system, there's no building consent nor compliance certificate obtained for those works. Therefore, clause 9.35 of the agreement is hereby deleted in respect of that ensuite tiling regulations. So just making sure that everybody is right up to play with what's going on there with this particular property. No changes to the channels 16? No changes, and settlement date still 20 working days from today's date, but a flexibility around that as well. Excellent. So on we go, folks. Have a look at this there coming up on the screen. Outdoor entertaining at its best here at 78 Pacific View Road. You've got those easy gardens that surround that beautiful saltwater pool that you see there. That's where you're going to spend a lot of your time entertaining family and friends. And the interior of the property is slick and very, very well presented indeed. You've got the wonderful open plan living configuration. The appeal is overpowering and just makes you want to stay longer in the property. It is so appealing. Certainly one of those properties that ticks all the boxes for you to just move in, unpack, get rid of all your packing boxes and just simply enjoy the property. So 78 Pacific View Road, in your hands. Myers, who would you like to start the auction away? Obviously a very compelling description I've heard of the property, everybody jumping in there. Somebody starting away, I would have thought a 1.5 start would be a fair and reasonable start for this property. Somebody get me away at 1.5? First call for a start at 1.5, otherwise I'm going to start myself for you. Second time. Last chance, are we in or out? Look, I'll give you the opportunity to bid and buy. If you're a little bit shy to start me away, I'll start away at $1,500,000 and I'm happy to take $20,000 rises from here. At 1.5 million for the property here, I'm happy to take a 20 rise, make it 1,520 if you will. At $1,500,000, just started the auction to give you the opportunity to bid and buy here today, folks. First call now, second time to join me and get on the bike and pedaling. Third, the last opportunity. Well, certainly not going to leave it there, guys. I'm going to advance on behalf of the seller at $1,520,000. At 1,520, like I said, folks, I've only just started the auction to give you the opportunity to buy here today. At $1,520,000, take a $20,000 rise to bring you in now if you wish to join us. First call at $1,520,000. Second time. Third, answer that call. It might be a phone bidder. No? Okay, well, I'm happy to bid on behalf of the seller then at $1,540,000. Here's your chance today, guys. As I said, your opportunity to buy is here in the position of cash. If you don't do it today, then you will run the risk of having competition after the auction. First call now, $1,540,000. Certainly not taking any less than a 20 rides on this. Second call, are we in or out? Probably a little bit late to be texting the bank at this point in time, if that's what you're doing, looking for a bit of extra money, or are we looking for approval from hubby? I suggest rather than texting, I would suggest a phone call would be appropriate, because if I don't get any bids, folks, I'm going to lift it once more and I'm going to close the auction down. First call now, $1,540,000. Are we in or out? Second time. Third, final opportunity. Guys, I know you've got other interest in the property, so I'm going to close the auction and hand it back to you. A little bit more work to do there, but those guys that haven't quite made the auction today are going to be delighted to hear from you afterwards. The auction is now closed. I'm actually going to close that off at $1,560,000, folks. If you want to purchase the property, you will need to be on the northern side of that level. Pressing on, folks, there's nothing quite like the feel of fresh carpet underfoot, the faint smell of new paint, and the sparkle of something brand new, and that's exactly what you get here at 192 Welcome Bayle Road. Marketed by Ross Brown and David Bloomhart, and of course Barbara. You've left Barbara out there in the workplace, just looking after the business out there, so doing a great job as the trio out of our Bethlehem office. It is a freehold estate here at 192 Welcome Bayle Road, folks. 471 square metres of land, more or less, is all you have to look after, freeing up all your time to do the fun things in life. All described in record of title, say 56D folio 230. 20 working days from today's date, still the settlement date, bit of flexibility around that. Channels list remains unchanged. Wouldn't have thought so, not with the three of you on the job, making sure that everything's all tickety-boo. Just a quick reminder, there is a clause in the contract just disclosing to you that the vendor is actually one of the vendors is actually a licensed salesperson, so just full disclosure there. Back to the property itself there, folks. Those of you searching for something fresh, immaculate, and something a little bit different in an established neighbourhood, you'll know that the pickings are rather slim out there, so here's a great opportunity for you. It's got the delightful open plan living in the office on the mid-level as well. Great configuration, this particular property, folks. Mum and Dad get to retire upstairs while perhaps the teens or a boarder or those unruly guests vanish down to the lower level there as well. Certainly set well back from the road in early welcome bay, so nice and peaceful and quiet, and of course don't forget the views. Some great views from the property, so if you're looking for something lovely and fresh and sparkling, folks, then this is it here, 192 Welcome Bay Road. I'd suggest a value of over $1 million, but I'd be happy to take a start at $1 million if you're here in cash. So all the option is called for, folks, is to work with the cash wires in the first instance. Anything over $1 million, you set the benchmark how far over, and I'm happy to work with you from there. First call now for a start, no in or out. Second time, third, final call for any cash interest today. Obviously none in the room today, haven't got any registered phone bidders as well, so close the auction, hand it back to you guys, and we've got more work to do on that property. If you're looking for something really fresh and clean, folks, then that one is an absolute crack indeed. Alright, moving along, 17 and 17A Tudor Road is the next property that we've got on offer for you. Let's talk about the home itself. Owen Phelps being the marketing consultant here, and Owen tells me that this is just an absolute delightful property to market. You've got the 1960 elegance and character, the stunningly renovated home to modernise, yet retaining the gorgeous aspect of its era back there in the 60s as well. Now you get 2 for 1 here, folks, so the record of title 841928 and 841929 describe the two properties there, the home on its site of 532 square metres, plus you've got the 367 square metres more or less of the section, making up a total of 899 square metres of land more or less in those two record of titles. We do have 15 working days from today's date. That's all you have to wait for settlement on the property. Just a quick reminder of the additional clause, clause 22. Purchasers acknowledge that the vendor has disclosed that the second toilet was installed by the vendor without obtaining a building consent nor a code compliance certificate, and that the garage was converted into a sleep out with kitchenette and bathroom by the prior owner without obtaining a building permit, building consent or code compliance certificate. So for any resource consents as well. So just full disclosure of what's going on there, folks. Channels list, any other changes there, Alan? No? So all as circulated there. So yeah, you've got many fine features, include the dark stain timber flooring. Look at it there on the screen here. Absolutely stunning indeed there. The outstanding flow to the outdoors, as you see there in the kitchen. Absolutely fantastic for entertaining. All the work's been done and completed to the highest of standards here in the renovation at 17 Tudor Road. You've got the self-contained standalone room there, perfect for the teens or family members as well. Good off-street parking, complemented by the fabulous drive-through triple tandem garage as well. So a great option there, folks, with this particular property, and of course you've got that extra land space that comes with it as well. Now I understand you've got 3 buyers that are still doing their due diligence on the property at this point in time, not quite in a position to be able to bid in cash, so I'll put it to the floor. If there's no cash, we'll just keep working with those buyers still doing their homework. Cash interest, now's the time to disclose it first. 17 and 17A Tudor Road. Second call now, are we in or out? Third, final opportunity. Well, those buyers are going to be delighted to hear from you. I'm formally going to close the auction there, but we are going to offer the property separately, folks. So in the next session at 1:30, we'll offer number 17, the house and land, and of course the section in our 2 o'clock session. So don't run away if you're wanting to buy one of them individually. Alright, before that music starts getting you carried away and start dancing on the chairs here, folks, we'll press on. Number 8, Monarch Place, Brendan Jeffs from our Pemberton Road office been presenting this property, an exceptionally attractive and spacious 268 square metre executive home, ideal for family of a range of different ages too. Of course, that 268 square metres home, more or less. About more or less, you've got 600 square metres of land, more or less, all that's described in record of title 153439 in the South Auckland Registry Office, of course being freehold estate, the best class of ownership that you can buy in New Zealand. 14th of April 2022, Brendan, still our settlement date. Any changes to the channels list that's been circulated? So all the I's dotted and T's crossed there, folks. Certainly a welcome option for those who have outgrown where you are at the moment and just realise that it's time to enhance your lifestyle. This one will certainly fit the bill there. You've got the modern kitchen, you've got the gas cooking, the double fridge, all stays right there as well for your use when you move in. The triple living areas kept comfortable all year round with the ducting, air conditioning right throughout the home, and of course you've got the gas fireplace and the heat pump as well. So certainly no issues for those winter months that are moving on us reasonably quickly, Brendan. Tons of storage throughout the home. You've got the off-street parking for guests and all safe and sound behind the electric gates and on the very, very neatly neatly landscaped 600 square metres more of land, more or less as well. So in your hands was number 8, Monarch Place. Not going to suggest any figures for this one. Not going to set any benchmarks. It's entirely up to you. You just start me away wherever you like. First call now. Second, last chance in or outs. Obviously no cash today for this one, Brendan. We're going to close the option and hand it back to you, mate. We'll see you back at about 11 minutes, folks, for our 1:30 session. We'll see you there. Good afternoon, folks. Well, welcome to the EVES auction room here for our 1:30 session this afternoon. My name's Grant Child. I'll just be facilitating proceedings through this session, and once we get to the 2:30 session, I'll be handing over to my good colleague Jordan Silbright. Robin's going to sit on the computer. She controls all the technology here in the auction room. If your bids don't take us to the owner's reserve price, because that's the only level an auctioneer can put the property to the market and sell to the highest bidder, then we'll pause the auction. Either one of the two, Craig's, Karen or Trevor, they'll jump in at this stage. We'll keep working with you at that point in time, folks. Give you the opportunity to keep discussing with our sellers, see if we can't reach agreement here today, and of course at which time we will come back to us and then we'll put the property to the floor. It'll sell to the highest bidder. But be very, very clear, folks, if we don't sell at the auction, anybody can come forward afterwards, and that does include conditional buyers. So give it your best shot here today, and I take the opportunity to welcome our viewers watching via the live stream at this point in time. All 131 of you, welcome along, and particularly for those registered telephone bidders, we wish you the best in your endeavours. Buyers and sellers guide, well, that's been around for ages, folks, put out by the Real Estate Authority, available in the stand, but you've probably got more in your glove box of your car than what we've got in the stand out there. They've been around for a long time. Let's cut to the chase and go straight to the important document, of course, the contract of sale. By way of any bidding today, I'm going to assume that you've read, understood, accept that contract that we work to. So it's a pretty clear, concise document authorised by the Real Estate Institute of New Zealand and the Auckland District Law Society and, of course, the vendor solicitor. And we trust your solicitor as well, because you're well advised to talk to your solicitors prior to buying an auction, because you do bid and buy on that cash unconditional basis. Let's quickly revisit this section here, folks. That's what you see up there on the screen. That's the conduct of auction. Pretty straightforward. You've probably all perused that, so I just remind you of two important points. One being, immediately on completion of the auction, we just require your autograph on the contract, and of course for our telephone bidders, you're authorising me as the auctioneer to sign on your behalf, and you've authorised that by signing the telephone bidding authority. The other thing we remind you of, folks, is the payment of the deposit. That's, of course, payable immediately on completion of the auction. I've just got to quickly run through very briefly vendor bidding, just so you've got a full understanding as far as vendor bidding is concerned. I'm the only one authorised to submit vendor bids. It will always be at a level well below the seller's reserve price. In fact, if I'm holding a bid at any level, the vendors aren't entertaining any further discussions with you at that level. If you want to buy their property, you will need to be above that. that. Vendor bids are always fully disclosed as well, and I will only use the vendor bid if I've only got one person participating in the auction. So, pretty straightforward process, folks. Any questions at this juncture? No? Excellent. Right, we'll move straight into our first property session, the number at number 40 Pemberton Crescent. Julie and Lindsay Parkinson from our Bethlehem office been presenting this property. So absolutely immaculate inside and out. It sparkles just like the brightest star in the sky at night. The legal aspects of the property: freehold estate, 426 square metres of land, more or less, is all you need to look after here, freeing up all that time to do the fun things in life. Record of title 582295 confirms all the legal aspects of it. Just a quick reminder of a clause in the contract. Firstly, clause 23, basically inserted at the request of the vendor solicitor authorising early release of the deposit in accordance with section 123(2) of the Real Estate Agents Act 2008. More importantly, clause 24, vendor warrants that the chattels included in the sale shall be in the same condition as at the date of the agreement that you signed today, fair wear and tear accepted, and this clause replaces clause 9.31, which is hereby deleted. Settlement date, guys, still 28th of April, bit of flexibility around that. If you need an alternative date, just have a chat to Julie and Lindsay, they'll sort something out for you. Channels list, any additions, deletions to what you've had circulated? No, all up to date there. So that ticks off all the legal aspects there, folks. We've got the elevation that allows the private outlook down the street to watch the activity of life from your own lounge suite there. And of course, look at that area there that you see, the perfect spot to watch out for the kids home coming from school as well. Got lots of big windows throughout the home as well, letting plenty of light in. You've got the quality fittings, there's no expense spared in the renovation, even a new roof on the property in 2020 as well. So pretty much described, I think you had it in your marketing there, as a gorgeous mid-century bungalow, but I think at best this could be described as a real treasure chest, a real treasure home. So one that's going to give you a nice comfortable lifestyle. So where would you like to start the auction away? Here to work with the cash interest. Looking for an opening bid now, folks? 800, we're underway now. Appreciate your start at $800,000, and we'll travel in nice, easy 20 rises from here. Making it nice and simple for you here today, folks. Appreciate your start there, sir. 800 000. Who goes 820 now? First call, second time, third. Last opportunity for you to join us, folks. Having to work alongside you then, sir, at 820 vendor bid at this point in time. Making it 840, shall we? 820 and 840, thumbs up. Appreciate you working with me there, sir. At $840,000 it is. 840 000. I start a bidder at the back there now. First call now, still taking 20s at this juncture. Second time, are we in or out? Third, last chance for you to join us, folks. In or outs? Going to go once more on behalf of the seller then at 860, sir. Take it 8, make it 880. We'll pause and talk at that level. At $860,000 vendor bid at this point in time, sir. 880 on the nod now. At $880,000, there it is at the back of the room there. At $880,000, just the one buyer participating at this point in time. If I don't get any further bids, we'll pause and let the gentleman keep discussing with our seller at this juncture. First call now at $880,000, are you in or out? Second, last chance. Craig, bids at the back there with my starter at 880. Can you see if you can assist him, please? Alright, moving straight on to the second property for our 1:30 session, folks. 71 Terrabreeze Drive. Charlotte Gardner being the principal marketing consultant for this property, based out of our Papamoa office. So I think that this one, fair to say, Trevor, I think Charlotte was absolutely right in her marketing. No dilly-dallying, no wild goose chase. This one just gets straight to the point. Definitely quality all the way around as well. When we look at the legal aspects of it, it's a freehold estate, 374 square metres of land, more or less, all described in record of title 753133. 20 working days is the settlement date, confirmed. A bit of flexibility around that. If you need an alternative date, just catch up with Charlotte and she will certainly sort something out for you. And I can confirm no additions, deletions to the channels list as well. So back to the property itself there, folks, the semi-division between the kitchen and adjoining living room, that creates that private retreat while the flow continues so nicely to the outdoor living areas as well. You've got a stylish kitchen that sits at the communal hub forefront of the property as well, almost galleon style, but if you're hosting dinner parties as your thing, then this one will have you absolutely sold, because it's got that wonderful larder that facilitates those sort of activities as well. Post Papamoa, well, that's simply pocketed with the family abodes in a neighbourhood where children scoot and ride and play safely in the street there, folks. So this one is no different. Now, we do have a couple of buyers. One's been back twice, another one has been back 3 times to view this property. Not quite in a position to be able to bid it in cash. So I'm going to call it 3 times, folks, but if I don't get a bid from the floor, I'm going to very quickly shut the auction down, and we're happy to work with those buyers still completing their homework on the property. First call now for cash interest, you need to disclose it now. Second time, third, last chance. Close the auction, Charlotte, you've just got some work to do. Those buyers are going to be delighted to hear from you when you contact them and let them know that the property is still available. The auction is now closed. Well, we'll press on now for the third property in our 1:30 session, folks. We in the 1 o'clock session we did present 17 and 17A Tudor Road. We're now presenting just number 17 on its own. You see there the top of the square boxes there on the screen. Those lines just indicative of roughly where the boundary is, not setting out exactly where it is. But you can forget the big section and maintain and just enjoy this modernised 1960s home and simply sit back and enjoy life. Owen Phelps obviously been marketing this property as well out of our Gate Bar office. It's a freehold estate, 532 square metres of land is all you have to look after, all described in record of title 841928. Now, a couple of channels that were added to the contract, and that is the heat pump and the cooktop have been added. We do have an additional clause I just need to make reference to as I turn to that and remind you your settlement date is 15 working days from today's date. No changes to that, Owen? No. Channels list is all good to go. So clause 22, folks, purchasers acknowledge that the vendor has disclosed that the second toilet was installed by the vendor without obtaining a building consent or a code compliance certificate. The garage was converted into a sleep out with kitchenette and bathroom by the prior owner without obtaining any consents either. So just disclosing all that to you before inviting any bids. But before I invite any bids, I'll just remind you of this, the elegance of this 1960s character home. And as I mentioned in the 1 o'clock session, certainly stunningly renovated and modernised while retaining those gorgeous aspects of the 1960s era. All the work has been completed to the highest of standards, as I mentioned in the earlier, and that you've got that standalone room there, of course, perfect for the teenagers as well. Just a short jaunt to workshop or play in the CBD, not too far away, is number 17 Tudor Road. I would suggest $1 million would be a fair and reasonable start for this one, Owen. Be happy to start your way at $1 million for it. Certainly been nicely renovated and worthy of better than that, but I'd be happy to work with you at $1 million start. Here to work with the cash interest only, folks. Once, twice I call now. Third, final opportunity, if you are in that position of cash, disclose it right here, right now. Otherwise, I'm simply going to close the auction. Obviously, no cash today, Owen, so I'm going to close the auction and hand it back to you. But we will be presenting the section separately in our next session, folks. So if that's the one you're here for, don't run away. Alright, the negotiations on Pemberton are continuing, folks. In the meantime, we'll press on and offer you our final property for our 1:30 session, the property at number 9, Excelsior Place. Kelly and Cora Ormsby have been targeting this property based out of our Mount Maunganui office. Certainly a very private family home within easy walking distance to the beach, so if that's what you're looking for, then this is an absolute stunner. This is a freehold estate, 540 square metres of land, more or less, all described in record of title 201740. There is a clause in the contract at the request of the vendor or solicitor authorising early release of the deposit in accordance with the Real Estate Agents Act 2008. 10th of June, Kelly, is the settlement date. Plenty of time for lottery tickets between now and then, so plenty of options there. And of course, you've got that channels list there. Any additions, deletions there? No changes there. So a pretty straightforward property there, folks. You've got that minimalist kitchen there as well. You'll remember that when you went and viewed the property, certainly been the toast of your family and friends, and this absolute entertainer's delight. Look at the way it just opens up, the nice, lovely windows up there, letting all the natural light in, absolutely superb. You've got the beautifully landscaped grounds, yet they are nice and easy to maintain as well. A holiday home atmosphere certainly facilitates an all-year-round love affair with the outdoors at this property as well. A stylish modern design home with your designated off-street parking as well for your motorhome or your boat. So lots of boxes ticked here. So I would suggest that 9 Excelsior Place, I'd be happy with a start sort of anywhere circa 1.7, somewhere in that vicinity. It'd be a fair and reasonable start for a property of this calibre. For a start now, only here to work with the cash interest. Looking like a bunch of cardboard cutouts here today, folks. Hey, you can all put your hand up and say bid 1.7, that'll be a good conversation to have. You won't buy it, I can assure you of that, but at least you can go away and say you bid 1.7 million on the EVES option today. First call now, second, last chance in or outs. A little bit more work to do with our buyers that expressed interest in the property there, Kelly, but I'm sure you'll get there and get a sold sticker on that property very soon. Right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Those of you that have been with us throughout the day, you're going to have to bear with us, but we do need to go through our introductions with having to separate our properties into 4 properties per session. So welcome along to our 2 o'clock session here today. My name's Grant Child and no guesses as to what my role is. I've also got my good colleague, good friend Jordan Silverite. He's also one of our auctioneers today. He'll be doing the 2:30 session for you, and Robin will be staying up in front there and looking after all the technology all the way through. We've got the 2 Craigs, Karen and Trevor, on one hand. If your bids don't take us to a level where the owners are happy for us to put the property to the market and sell to the highest bidder, naturally that's their reserve price. We'll simply pause the auction, give you the opportunity to continue discussions, and one of the properties in our 1:30 session is still being negotiated at that point in time, at this point in time rather. So we'll give you plenty of time. They are important decisions and the team will be on hand to assist you as well. Just quickly running through the documentation for bidding confidence and clarity. Obviously the Buyers and Sellers Guide, Real Estate Authority put that out over 10 years ago. They are available on the stand outside of the auction room, and of course have been on the various kitchen tables throughout the open homes that you've been viewing as well. So straight to the contract of sale that we work to. Obviously a very clear, concise document. Indeed, bidding on a cash unconditional basis here today. All your homework needs to have been done. Your solicitors approved the contract, and of course you've perused it as well. So by way of any bidding, I'm going to make the assumption that has all been done, and of course we wish you the best in your endeavours. And quickly revisit the front page, which is up there in blue that you see there on the screen. A couple of important points to remind you of. The first one being vendor bidding. If there's any vendor bidding here today, folks, I'm the only one authorised to submit bids on behalf of the vendor. They will always be at a level below the seller's reserve price, and they will always be at a level where the vendors are not interested in entertaining any further negotiations with you. I will only use a vendor bid if I've only got one person participating in the auction, and it will only be to work alongside you and get you to that negotiating platform, at which time we will pause the auction. The other important part for your obligations today, folks, is of course on the fall of the hammer, is to sign the contract and part with a bit of your hard-earned cash, and that is the deposit, just a tenth of the purchase price required today. Balance is as we go forward. So any other questions about the contract, folks, will be answered in the finalised copies that are available in the stand just outside of the auction room. So we go to our first property for our 2 o'clock session this afternoon, and that is the double whammy here at number 225 and 225B, Poeke Parade, marketed by the one and only 21 today, Miranda Horan.
21 was a long time ago.
So
thanks, I'll take it.
I've only got the number wrong. It is your birthday today, so I was talking to you this morning. I purposely didn't say anything because I just wanted the opportunity to wish you happy birthday today in front of everybody. And it's great to see you here with us, celebrating yet another birthday with us, and long may there be plenty more ahead with us as well. So So back to the property itself. Miranda's had a great opportunity of presenting this property. It's a cross-lease freehold property. There are two of them here, as I said, 225 and 225B, Poeke Parade. SA 47B folio 654 and SA 47B 655 being cross-leased with each other here today, folks. The properties are only available for sale to buy the two of them together. So you've got the two on separate cross-lease titles on the beachfront. That's the important part, is the fact that they are on the beachfront. The curtains are excluded in 225B. There was some documentation circulated stipulating that the settlement date was 20 working days from today's date. That has been amended to the 6th of May 2022.
I believe that's correct.
That's what's on the finalised contract that we printed off today. So any other changes to the channels list apart from that, those curtains being excluded? No, all as circulated there so far. So folks, have a look at this. This opportunity is as rare as rare as rare. I'll tell you what, folks, it's about as rare as you just walking into the surf and being able to pick up a snapper. You do have to put your long line out to be able to catch the fish off this location here. But it really is all about lifestyle. I can vouch for the lifestyle in this location here, folks, because that property just on the right-hand side of the two properties in question, marked 225A, 225B, I resided in that property for 8.5 years. It is a magical lifestyle indeed. Getting home from work, slipping out of the mocha, getting into the shorts and dangles, wandering down off your front yard, straight onto the beach, picking up the cat's eyes, putting the long line out, doing whatever you like, walking up and down the beach, running up and down the beach, swimming. It's all there, right on your doorstep. You are in for an absolute lifestyle overhaul here in Poeke Parade, folks. The opportunity for you to suck in the sea air, ride the waves, build sand castles with the kids. It's all right there on your front doorstep there. Morning or evening walks along the beach. Well, it doesn't really matter what time of the day. The beach just simply stays there for you to enjoy. An excellent opportunity here, particularly for intergenerational families here, with being the two properties there. Look at these, your own steps off the front there down onto the beach there. Just simply superb indeed. A great opportunity for home and income, reside in one, rent the other one out, and of course those Airbnb facilities as well. So I would suggest being the two properties on the one side are definitely a property value. Got to be over 2 million.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely over 2 million for the two properties. So we're happy to take a start anywhere over that 2 million, folks, just to give us the opportunity here. In fact, I'll tell you what, you could even bid $2 million and you could go away and say you bid $2 million at our leads option today, because you certainly won't buy the property. The opportunity here, first call, second, last chance. Somebody's up today, folks, Miranda, because I'm going to close the auction and leave you, and that property is still available for sale, and I am anticipating you'll get some good inquiry post-auction on that one from the conditional buyers. So auction is now closed, folks. Well, moving on to our second property for the afternoon, folks, 26 Tauranga Street. Nicholas Maloney and Charlotte Gardner have been jointly marketing this property here, certainly beautifully presented, perfectly sized and positioned on a desirable 372 square metre site, more or less. That site is described as a freehold estate and all described in record of title 650360. Now the gun cabinet is excluded from the sale, and we'll be taking that with them, and the settlement date 20 working days from today's date, Nicholas. No changes there. It's just a quick reminder of the extra clause in the contract. Purchaser acknowledges that the back fence around the deck and between the neighbouring property extends to legal height and releases the vendor from any liability in this regard. Any other changes to the channels list there, Nicholas? All as circulated. So there we go, folks. Nestled amid a mecca of urban convenience, yet mere moments from the beach here at 26 Tauranga Street. The family-orientated street simply means a gem of a property for such an attractive location. It's absolutely immaculately presented, as I mentioned a little bit earlier. Very, very tidy indeed. Buy today, position your couch in 20 working days' time, then it's just time to put your feet up and simply enjoy what the home has to offer. You'll find the early childcare, primary schools, parks and reserves all within a short walking distance from this property here. So cash interest, now's the time to disclose it, and I'm happy to work with you today. So I can tell you now, this property, if you don't buy it today in the auction room, it is not going to last very long indeed. First call now for cash. Second, final call for cash interest. We're going to close the auction, Nicholas. How much do we need to buy a property like this in this particular location?
Look, the vendors have decided to price it incredibly sharply at $970,000.
$970,000. So I'll tell you what, Nicholas, I'm absolutely confident in you and Charlotte and the vendor at that sort of price there. I don't think it's going to last too long. I reckon you're going to be ringing me next week and telling me that the property's either sold or definitely under contract. So
We'll do it by Sunday, right?
No?
We'll do it by Sunday.
You'll do it by Sunday. That's the story. That's what we like to hear. Right, so by Sunday. So you better be quick, folks. Get in and talk to Nicholas very, very quickly indeed.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Here we go to our 1:30 session, folks. Number 40 Pemberton Crescent. We left the auction room at $880,000. So you've amended your bid to $920,000. Just confirm that for me. Thank you. Appreciate you working with us as well at $920,000. Julie, you had a conversation with our sellers. My instructions here are sell to the highest bidder. On the market it goes then at $920,000 in favour of the gentleman here at the back of the room here. First call now, hammer's up. Second time, don't let it come down and crush your Pemberton Dragons. Third, final opportunity, it goes. Sold you, sir, at $920,000. Congratulations to our sellers watching below the live stream as well. Alright, we go through our 2 o'clock session, folks. 17A Tudor Road. Owen's been marking this one as well out of our gate car office. You've got the blank canvas all but in the city here with this property here, folks. Have a look there. You see it all marked out there and read on the screen. When we look at the legal aspects of it, it's a freehold estate, 367 square metres of land, more or less. All described in record of title 841929. 15 working days on, and the new owners of this can start with any of the building works that they need. So just a quick thing. Sorry.
They have to get a consent first.
Just got to get rid of course they've got to get consent first. Yeah, absolutely. Just a quick reminder though, folks. Clause 22. Purchaser acknowledges and consents to the vendor registering a variation of covenant instrument prior to or on the settlement date. To delete paragraph 3 of Schedule B of the Land Covenant Instrument 1147323.4. So just making sure that you are aware of that prior to any bidding today. Obviously being a blank canvas section, there are no channels included in the sale. A property about this so close to the city, it's about as rare as seeing a giraffe going down the Waikato Expressway on a skateboard. It's, you don't see that very often indeed. So time to jot your ideas down on Owen's business card, set your architecture there. As Owen said, put your application in for the permits and away you go. Certainly a brilliant place to let your creative juices flow wild to generate your future relaxing lifestyle here at number 17A Tudor Road. Happy to take a start anywhere in the threes for this one, folks. First call now for a start. If you're in that position of cash, now's the opportunity for you. Second time. Third, last chance in or outs. Obviously no cash for this one today. I'm going to close the auction and hand it back to you, my friend, but I'm sure you're going to have that property, that section sold in no time indeed.
Thanks, Grant.
You're welcome, mate. I'd like to ask for our 2 o'clock session today, folks. It's property 636 Karimaka Road. Sally Blockley from our Lakes office needs no introduction here. Have a think about this, folks. You've got the stunning garden retreat to show off your family and friends. It is just absolutely outstanding indeed. When we look at the legal aspects of it, it's a freehold estate, 6,046 square metres of land, more or less, is what you buy here, and all described in regular title 736402. 26th of April 2022. Sally, is any other changes to the channels list? No additions, deletions there. Quick reminder of clause 23, folks. Purchasers acknowledge that the toilet block with 3 toilets and the hand basins has not been granted council consent. The vendor warranties under clause 9.35 do not apply to this, and the purchasers purchase the property on that basis. Clause 24, authorising an early release of the deposit, quite common at this time of the year with the end of the financial year approaching. And clause 25, purchasers acknowledge that you've been made aware that there is no building permit, building consent for the bedroom and small lounge area located at the front of the property, and the work completed by a previous registered proprietor may not comply. So the vendor gives no warranty in relation to that bedroom and the small lounge area. So just making sure that you are fully aware of that. I understand we've got telephone bidding registered for this one here. Right, got vendor on the phone. Okay, no problems at all. So we're tucked beautifully into the gardens as your absolute slice of paradise here, folks. The opportunity for you to sit back and enjoy nature at its absolute best here at 636 Karimaka Road. The opportunity to entertain friends and family from a small gathering, or as you see here on the screen, you can go all out on a big scale and have weddings and formal functions. There is loads of room for everybody at this property indeed. The opportunity to wander along your own bushwalks and quiet times of life, well, that's there as well. So you are really in for a luxury lifestyle here at 636 Karimaka Road. In your hands, guys, who would you like to start me away for this one?
I'll give you 1.2.
1.2, thank you, sir. I appreciate the start there at $1,200,000. Exactly where I would have thought a reasonable start would be. At $1,200,000, I'm happy to travel on $20,000 rises from here. At 1.2 it is, appreciate your start there, sir, against everybody else here. 1.2, chasing down a $20,000 rise, first call. Second time, last chance for you to join us now at 1.2. Who going to work alongside you then, sir? Being all bit at 1,220,000, 40 can I say for you. At 240 we go now. Appreciate your question with me quickly too, sir. That's the way to do it. Keep the pedal down. At $1,240,000, chasing down another $20,000 rise. Don't have to just leave it over to the single gentleman here today, folks. At $1,240,000, first call now. Second time. Third, last opportunity. Going to go again on behalf of the seller, sir. Obliged to at 1260. Making it 1280. Can I? 1280 now. $1,280,000, just a single buyer bidding at this point in time, folks. I'm not going to go any further with any vendor bids. If we don't get any further bidding, I'm just going to pause and we'll keep discussing with the gentleman over here. $1,280,000. Happy to take, make it 1.3 if you will. First call now, are we in or out? Second time. Third, final opportunity, in or out? So bids from you at $1,280,000, being the only bidder at this point in time. A little way to go, but I'm going to give you the opportunity to keep discussing with our seller. The option's on pause.
Thank you, Grant.
Right, back we go, folks. Number 636, Karimaka Road. So you've amended your bid from $1,280,000 to $1,350,000. Just confirm that for me, please. At $1,350,000 seller, you've got the sellers on the phone there. What are my instructions from here? Selling away now at $1,350,000 down here in favour of our bidder that started the bidding away. First call now at 1350,000. Second time, 1.35 million. Buys the property here from the one of a better bid. Third, final opportunity quickly. It goes, it goes. That's all you, sir. Congratulations to our sellers. Jordan will be back with you in about a minute, folks. And we'll great comedies. We'll see you then.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome along to this afternoon's 2:30 session here at the EVES auction room. My name's Jordan Sibright. It's my absolute pleasure and privilege to guide you through today's proceedings, handling any pressing matters that come to my attention along the way. Well, as far as introductions go, these people warrant none, but they'll get one anyway. Up here on the screen, you'll see their names and faces. Robin, she's going to assist me up here behind the podium with everything technology related. Otherwise, Grant, our national auctioneer, our national auction manager, he's here to assist should I need the help. And of course, we've got my expert team of negotiators here to assist if we need a little negotiation off the auction floor. I'll explain a little further how that works, but of course we've got Trevor, Karen, Craig and Craig, and again, they're here to assist with that negotiation. Otherwise, conduct today, I'll remind you, you do bid on a cash unconditional basis, and you bid on the condition that you have actually received the REA, the Buying and Seller's Guide. Otherwise, standard auction conduct is going to apply today, and you would have seen that in the draft form of the agreement that your salesperson would have provided to you. Well, that's now available in a finalised form in the standout site, should you wish to see it, and of course it's up here on the screen. I'll point out a couple of things to you. Vendor bidding. Well, vendor bidding, it's pretty straightforward rather. My job today is to assist you buy and sell property, and in doing so I have the authority to vendor bid. Now, if I do this, it'll be super clear, well below our reserve price, unsurprisingly called a vendor bid, folks. And all the purpose of business, the purpose rather, is to educate you on what's not going to buy the property. So if I vendor bid, it'll be super clear, always well below our reserve price. And it means that if you want to be in a position to buy the property today, folks, or at least be in a position to have a conversation with our negotiators, well, and maybe try and get the deal done off the auction floor, well, your numbers, they'll need to be north of mine. Otherwise, a couple of other things I'll point out. Phone bidders, they'll need to be registered with the appropriate paperwork signed off, and I'll endeavour to point them out to you along the way as we get to each auction. Otherwise, if you're our successful purchaser, we'll pat on the back to you, but there's a couple of things I require before we pop open the champagne, and that's your John Hancock, your autograph on the memorandum of contract, and your 10% deposit, which is due at the conclusion into the trust account. Otherwise, any questions, feel free to shoot them at me. I'll try not to mistake them for a bid, but be clear, folks, if you're here to buy today, make your intention heard and seen for all, because confident bidders, well, they're the successful ones, folks. Right, well, as I say, our first property this afternoon in the 2:30 session is 56A Valley Road, proudly marketed by Joseph Goddard out of our Mount office. Now, 56A Valley Road, it's a private home, it's got that sunny backyard, great deck, perfectly entertaining, and the barbecues, you know, the list goes on. It's legally described as a freehold estate of 355 metres squared, more or less. And you can find further information under the unique identifier SA68C/92. Now the chattels, well, they read as so. I'll just point out the excluded chattels, the fridge, the washing machine and the dryer. Any further changes to that one, Jason? No, perfect. And settlement happy with 10 working days or as mutually agreed upon by both parties there. Otherwise, you've got beach access across the road. Great option if you're just looking to go and get your feet wet in the waves. Well, there it is, right across the road. And on your way back, maybe stop at that nearby iconic Taste Street store and grab yourself a coffee and a delicious treat. I certainly would. It's got a modernised kitchen that flows both to the lounge and the outside entertaining areas. So, look, you're really in a great option if you're looking to entertain folks, or if you're just looking to kick back and relax in your own home. Solid brick and tile construction, highly sought location. Focus on this one, we've had some interest, but folks, if you're here to buy, please express your interest now. Where do we see value? Who wants to start me away? Looking for an opening bid or offer. Cash buyers today, that's who we're dealing with. Cash interest, looking for it now. Looking for an open, folks. I know there's strong conditional interest, so if you're the cash unconditional buyer here in the room, well, this is your chance. Once, twice. No, there's no further interest here as in cash. Joseph, we'll pass that back to you. I'll close the auction, and I know you've got some conditional interest, and we'll be very happy to hear from you. Thanks very much. That's 56A Valley Road. Right, the next property on the list at the 2:30 session is 136B Eversham Road. Now, Ranjit Singh, out of our Gate Par office, he's got this one, and I tell you, it's a really nice private freehold section in a mountain location. And it's legally described as a freehold estate of 494 metres squared, more or less. You can find further information under the record of title SA 51B/367, but you know, legal description aside, it's a lot more than that. Now, just to confirm there, any changes to the chattels? No, and happy with the settlement of 97 days, all by mutual agreement, folks. Now, as I say, it's a lot more than just a legal mumbo-jumbo on the screen. You've got that good-sized living room, heat pump for year-round convenience, should you wish it. I mean, they call it a heat pump, they never call it a cool pump, but it does both, I promise you. And 4 great-sized bedrooms, so that means, you know, small family, and you want to have, you know, grandma, granddad, auntie, uncle come and stay, absolutely no problem. And you've got that tidy kitchen as well, which means if you do have guests coming around, all perfect, you can entertain them alike. Otherwise, you're close to the Bayfair Shopping Centre, Bay Wave, and well, of course, in the Mount Monaghan region, you're not too far from the beach, no matter where you are. Looking for an opening bid or offer, folks. Here we are at 136B Eversham Road. Show me your interest if you're that cash unconditional buyer. Looking for interest, folks. Do we have it here today? No. Once, twice, third time. Okay, Richard, what we're going to do, we'll close that there. Now, as far as value on this property, what sort of price do you think we'd be looking at as far as getting the deal done here today? 889. There you go, folks. So sharply priced 889. That means if you've got any further interest, go and see Randy. I'm sure he'll be able to get the deal done for you. That is 136B Eversham Road, and we'll close the auction. Price today 189,000. Here, our marketing agent, as he enters the room, Owen Phelps. He's been marketing 44 Rafferty Street. He's done a great job there. Owen out of our Gate Par office. And 44 Rafferty Street, well, options are plenty and rightly so. Legal description reads, it's a freehold estate located under record of title SA2B bar 658. It's 809 metres squared, more or less, of freehold land. I tell you what, that's a decent sized land, piece of land out there, folks. Beautiful green location there. Now, Channels, any changes to those? No changes to that one. In settlement, we've got 20 working days from the date of the agreement, folks. So a little bit of time to, go and get the moving truck booked and maybe call the friends and family and ask them to come and give you a hand with that as well. Now, the interiors, they're light, they're bright. You've got that nice northeasterly outlook toward Maui and Pat Hills. So, if you're looking to do a little bit of exercise but you're not sure on the weather, take a look out. You know what you're heading into. Easy link indoor-outdoor living with fully fenced large site, providing possible development opportunities if that's where your intentions lie. Obviously due diligence advised, but there is potential there. You've got a solid home with an abundance of off-street parking, fabulous size section. Look, 44 Rafferty Street in Gridson, it looks like an absolute brilliant property. Do we have interest, folks? Looking for an open, surely we see something with perhaps an 8 in front. My vendors would obviously like it to be at the higher end of the 8s, but I'll take anything that begins with an 8 in the 800s. Looking for an open bidder offer, folks. Oh, they are a little bit tricky today, aren't they, Karen? But hey, just because you're quiet doesn't mean you can't bid. I'll take a raise of a hand or a nod of the head, or even just look at me and wave your eyebrows funny. I'll understand what you're saying. Look, folks, anything with an opening bid within the 8s. First time, second time, third time. Okay, look, Owen doesn't look like we've got cash in the room today, but I'm sure you'll get the deal done very quickly. Owen's a great agent out of our Gate Par office. If you've got interest in the property there, head along, see Owen, and he'll be able to help you out.
Thank you.
No problem. Well, folks, next property, before we get cracking into it, I will welcome our viewers, viewing, of course, online, out on the World Wide Web. Welcome along, we appreciate you tuning in. And again, all of our viewers and attendees here in the auction room, we welcome you once more. 1185 Papamoa Beach Road, proudly marketed by Leon Centaur. Well, he's based out of our Papamoa office, and that's where he's busy hard working at the moment. But of course, this property here at 1185 Papamoa Beach Road, well, fishing friends, family barbecue, I'd imagine they'll be on high rotation here, and understandably and rightly so. Now, legally described, it's a freehold estate located under record of title SA1A bar 1259. It's 607 metres squared, more or less, of, like I mentioned, that freehold land, which is absolutely the best form of real estate you can buy, folks. Now, Channels, well, it's an extensive list, but I'll just point out the water bores, they are as is. There's 2 of them there, and of course that outdoor shower as well, as is conditioned. So you come along, but they are as is, folks. Settlement, well, we've got 14 April 2022, or as such date that's mutually agreed upon by both parties. Otherwise, you've got split level, stylish design makes this a great option for those with the Papamoa Beach mindset. The master bedroom opens up to that fresh air, private balcony from which a generous peak of the Pacific Ocean can be seen, right over the neighbouring rooftops. Modern kitchen, comfortable living that extends right outdoors into that back garden that's both peaceful and private. And of course, you're surrounded by those beautifully established trees, folks. Room, that double garage, you've got room for all the toys, the kayaks, the bikes, the whatever it be. You've got plenty of room there. And I'm sure an added bonus would be that proximity to the Excelsior Centre. So, folks, looking for an opening bidder offer, do we see it? We're looking at those cash unconditional buyers today, folks. Interest in 1185 Papamoa Beach Road, do we see it? Very quiet at the moment, but I'm sure there's interest. Once, twice, third time. No, what I'll do, I'll close the auction, we'll pass it back to Leon, and I'm sure he's got some conditional interest waiting in the wings, so we'll be very happy to hear from him. Thank you all for coming along, 2:30 session, and Grant will be back very shortly. Thank you.
Good afternoon, folks. A warm welcome to the EVES auction room here for our 3 o'clock session this afternoon. We've just got another half a dozen properties to offer you here today, so no need to go home empty-handed. My name's Grant Child. I'll simply facilitate proceedings here for you to finish the day off today and help you on the journey of buying your next property. Robin will look after all the technology in the auction room. Jordan did our session a little bit earlier and did a great job as well. We've also got the 2 Craigs, Karen and Trevor, on hand here. If your bids don't take me to the owner's reserve price, any auctioneer, folks, that you've got to be at the reserve price before any auctioneer can put the property to the market to sell to the highest bidder. So we don't quite reach there today. I'll pause the auction. One of the negotiation team will step in. We'll give you that opportunity to continue discussions today because if we formally close the auction today, folks, bear in mind anybody can come forward with an offer. It does include conditional buyers as well. So let's cut to the chase and go straight through the documentation. The buyers and sellers guide, well, that's been around since Adam played fullback with the Israelites. They are available in the stand outside of the room as well. So we'll go straight to the contract. Again, finalised copies also available in that same stand. They've been circulated in draft form and all the agents have made them available for you at the opens and of course at your personal private viewings as well. So by way of any bidding today, I'm going to assume that you've read, understood and accept that contract. But let's just quickly revisit the front page, conduct of auction there. You see it up there on the screen. I'm not going to go through that. You've all had the opportunity to read that. 2 very important points I just remind you of, folks. Of course, one being your obligations on completion of the auction is to obviously sign the contract here today and partner a little bit of your hard-earned cash. Just 10% of the purchase price is required today. You can pay that out at reception electronically. The balance is then transacted on settlement date, and of course that's done through your respective solicitors as well. So the other thing I'll just remind you of, folks, and that is vendor bidding. The only time I would use a vendor bid is if I've only got one person participating in the auction. I'm the only one authorised to submit vendor bids. I will disclose all vendor bids to you, and I will only use them at a level below the seller's reserve price. And it is just a technique to work alongside you to help you get to the negotiating platform. We pause the auction and you can carry on your discussions from there. So essentially, if I'm holding a vendor bid, folks, the vendors are simply saying thanks but no thanks. If you want to purchase our property, you will need to be on the northern side of that. So happy to answer any questions at this junction before we present to you our first offering for our 3 o'clock session, being number 26B, Gridson Road. No questions? Right, let's go straight to it then. Derek Rosa from our Pemberton Road office said the pleasure of presenting this property. It's private, secure and secluded, including the added bonus of the security gate as well. So certainly got that security aspect of it. It's legally described as a freehold estate, 483 square metres of land. More or less is what's on offer. All described in record of title SA 64B folio 564. Now excluded is the portable security system, all the pots, potted plants, fence ornaments and dressings. They are excluded from the sale. Some documentation was circulated stipulating the settlement date being 20 working days from today's date. That has now been amended to 30 working days from today's date. Nice green sign, Terry. Appropriate for today. Oh, yeah, green socks there, beautiful. Loving your work there, Patty. I got an email from Derek this morning and I had to decipher it because it was all in Irish. Any changes to the channels list there, Derek? No changes there. So pressing on there, folks, the large spacious family area complements the modern kitchen where the family chef will just simply going to relish your time to repeatedly produce dish of the week in a kitchen like this. The tranquil and serene outside deck area for a quiet time to just reflect on life. Well, you are really going to enjoy that at 26B deck. Gridson Road rather. Additional parking area, well that's an added bonus to the property as well, as is of course the location being well located for shops, bus routes and schools not too far away. So in your hands, why is 26B Gridson Road? I know Derek has got some interest. Property not quite in a position of cash to be able to bid today. So you the cash buyers, here's your chance to jump in ahead of them and purchase the property. But before you do that, you need to give me an opening bid. Looking for a start now. You set the benchmark, not going to help you with any figures, going to leave it entirely up to you. First call for a start. Second, final opportunity, in or out for cash. Obviously none today, Derek. I'm going to close the auction, hand it back to you, my friend. A little bit more work to do with that property, but I know you've been working with the buyer on that property and they're going to be delighted to hear that the property is still available. For pressing on 126 Bayle Street, Jason Hyde Hills, no introduction to the real estate market, working hard out of our Cherrywood office there. Certainly a home here at 126 Bayle Street, well presented. Of course, that easy care weatherboard as well. It's elevated, it's north facing, so that gives you an absolutely outstanding sunny position there. And of course, you've got views of the Otomoto golf course and the Mao Summit as well. So probably would, just as well, let's sit back a little bit here from the golf course there, especially when I'm out on the golf course there, Jason. I mean, you're okay, you managed to get the ball to go straight, but I mean, I do twice the distance when I'm trying to play golf out there than what anybody else does. Back to the property itself there, folks, formerly described as a freehold estate, 413 square metres of land, more or less, all described in record of title 71543. Now the oven and the curtain settings don't, the oven has got certain settings on it that don't work, so there's no warranties as far as the oven is concerned, so just making sure that you are aware of that. So it's excluded from the chattels list. 20 working days, Jason, is still our settlement date. Any other changes to the chattels list at all? No changes there. So you've got the modern plan, open plan living area there, and you've got that tiled combination with the native timber flooring as well. So a lovely combination of modern and character indeed. Beautiful resort style gardens with a tropical theme. You've got the large outdoor entertaining area. That's where you're going to spend one heck of a lot of your time there to enjoy right throughout the different seasons there. You've got that proximity to the Buretta precinct as well. So you've got a couple of nice restaurants down there. You've got the bar down the road there, Jack Dusty's. So I know a good friend of mine, he calls it Dusty Jack's, but it's not exactly Jack Dusty's. So it's been a great place to wash the dust off your throat there, just down the road from home when you reside at 126 Bayle Street, zoned for Billings Point Primary School, and of course if you're looking for something that's a real key location and you enjoy a wander along the harbour front, then it is not too far away from home when you reside in this property. So I'd suggest somewhere in the nines would be a fair reasonable start for a property of this calibre in this location, Jason. Yeah, anywhere in the nines, folks, looking for a start now. Anywhere in the nines. I'm sure the vendor will be more satisfied with the upper nines, but you just put it on the floor there, folks, and I'm happy to work with you at any level as long as it starts with a 9. First call now. Second, last chance for cash interest. Obviously none here today for it, Jason. I'll hand the property back to you, and I think once you get that out, get a price out there in the marketplace, I don't think that property's going to take too long indeed.
Thanks, Grant.
You're welcome. Right, moving on, folks. 14 McLaren Place, Lauren McRae, working out of our Papamoa office, been presenting this property here at 14 McLaren Place. Now, before we go any further, and I'll cover off all the legal aspects and a few pearls of wisdom about the property, I just need to make sure you are absolutely 100% clear for transparency. We do have somebody that is waiting to sign a conditional offer to present to the vendor after the auction. So you buyers, you get the opportunity. If you're in that position of cash, then if you don't buy it here today, I can guarantee you will be in a multiple offer afterwards. Just not using that, not threatening, it's just making sure that you are fully aware and total transparency of what's going on surrounding 14 McLaren Place. Charming, easy care, single level, 2-bedroom abode is what's on offer here for you today, folks. This would have been an absolute pleasure to market, Lauren, given the fact that it offers you a freehold estate, 380 square metres of land, more or less is what's on offer, all described in record of title SA 70D, folio 633. Now the security system is being purchased as is. It does stay there, but it's as is. It's not operational at the moment there. We do have authorised phone bidding in place as well. 15 working days from today's date is your settlement date for this property. Any other changes to the titles list there? No other changes there. So a great option here for a freehold property, folks. You've got the neutral colour palette that dresses the interior, providing an absolute blank canvas, allowing you to settle in right away and just enjoy what the home has to offer. Whilst it's in absolutely impeccable condition, you may choose to leave it as it is and just simply enjoy it, or get creative and tailor the home as you see fit going forward. The grounds will let comprise of low-level shrubs, as you see there on the screen there. You've got the beautiful citrus trees, and certainly a property that offers you more than meets the eye, particularly with the lawn space as well. So 14 McLaren Place, folks, in your hands. Where would you like to start your way for this one? $780,000. Welcome aboard there, sir. At $780,000 on the back wall. Happy to take a $10,000 rise from here. At $780,000, a good strong start at the back there. Making it nice and simple for you. $10,000 rises from here. First call at 780. Are we in or out? Second time. Third. Last opportunity for you to join us. Happy to go 790 on behalf of the vehicle, then serve it a little bit at 790, make it 8 if you will, at $800,000 on the knot at the back wall there now, at 800,000. At $800,000 even right on the back wall there now, at $800,000. Happy to take another 10, put yourself back in front. The opportunity is here. If we don't get anybody here today, it is going to be discussed with the gentleman at the back there now, at $800,000. First call now, second time, third, last chance for you to join us. Trevor, that's with the gentleman at the back, $800,000 even. Can you see me in the system, please? Right, moving straight on, 41 Humber Crescent. The next one, Gail Kurtz, being the marketing consultant for this property, working out of our Gate Park office here. Here is an excellent opportunity for those wanting long-term gain in this property here, folks. It's formally described as a freehold estate, 809 square metres of land, more or less, is what's on offer. Described and a record of title, let's say 1245 folio 8 in the South Auckland Registry Office. Now the fixed floor coverings, they do stay, but they are as is. The light fittings, the dishwasher, the heat pump, the stove and the electric heater are all as is as well. Any other changes to the chattels list there, Carl? No, settlement date still just 10 working days from today's date. On my calculations, that's only a couple of weeks away, so a great option for you to be in a fortnight, folks. So have a look at this, folks. Look at the subdivision potential that could be worthy of your investigation in this property. You've got the front and backyards for dual living, ideal for combined families, or the chance to create a split tenancy dwelling here in the property as well. As I mentioned, lots of options here with this home. You can take the time to make some improvements to the property and reap the rewards going forward. Savvy investors and creative minds, well, you'll simply enjoy bringing this home back to life. Pretty much a blank canvas opportunity in a very handy location there, Gail, I think fair to say so. In your hands, buyers will be happy to start your way at whatever juncture you'd like to kick it away. Looking for an opening bid now. 41 Humber Crescent. First call. Second, last chance for cash interest. Right, none here for this one today either, Carl, so I'm going to close the option, hand it back to you. Great option there at Humber Crescent with some huge potential with the property as well. I'm sure it won't take long and you'll have some good interest in this property going forward. Thank you, Grant. You're welcome. Right, moving along, folks, second last property for the afternoon, number 2, Toy Street, a superb home that leads to charge in its street and brimming with comfort from top to toe. Now, this option has been brought forward, folks. The owner is in contract and the property is here to be sold today. I will disclose the level of the pre-option contract. Robert will make it come up on the screen. It is not a bid. It's going up on the stage there where it says opening bid. It is not a bid. I will then invite any bids over that level. Legal aspects of the property, a freehold estate, 532 square metres of land, more or less, all described in record of title 548694. Now, the outdoor seating on the Wairaki Avenue side is excluded from the sale. We have authorised telephone bidding in place for the property, and 10 working days from today's date is your settlement date for this particular home here. You will recall the enclosed pergola that will see you dining outdoors and entertaining all year round, and it really doesn't matter what the weather is, you'll still be able to enjoy the outdoor facilities. You've got the soft natural tones to adorn the interior, creating a space that is both restful and calming as well. Garden enthusiasts you'll simply appreciate the raised vegetable gardens, the garden sheds, as well as the securely fenced and easy care surrounds of the home. Like I said, the auction has been brought forward, and that contract has been signed at $1,250,000. Happy to take any advance on that. And then we go $1,250,000. That's worthy of a $10,000 rise. Happy to take a 5 if it'll help. 2.5. Even take a single, folks. Your opportunity is here. I'll call it 3 times. Pop a single on top. It might secure the keys. You're the only one that can test it, otherwise it's sold. Once, twice now, $1,250,000. Looking for anything on top. Third, last opportunity, and we're out. Shaking head the wrong way there, Miranda. Can't take that as a bid. It needs to be sold north to south. Based on that, we no further bidding on how to clear the property. Sold at $1,250,000. Congratulations to our sellers. Congratulations to the buyer with the real bid. We've still got the Bayle Street being negotiated at the moment, folks, so we won't hold you up any longer. We'll press on for our final offering for the day, 107B Branch Road. Sam, where is Sam? He was just here. There he is. Sam.
Oh, I should be standing this.
Yes. Sam Witherston doing a great job of marketing this property here in the absence of Duke Rui. So you've done a great job with this one there, Sam. This auction has also been brought forward, folks. I'll disclose the level of the pre-auction contract very shortly. Invite any bids over that level. So there will be no vendor bidding on this one either, folks, and I won't be refusing any bids as well. So 107B Branch Road, tucked back off the sought after Branch Road. And this is really classified as Mount Gold, isn't it, Sam?
Mount Gold.
Mount Gold, that's absolutely 100% correct. Branch Road, a very popular location indeed. A freehold estate, 521 square metres of land, more or less, all described in record title, let's say 66D, folio 331. Now we do have an additional clause in the contract, and that was stipulating that the deposit is to be paid into the vendor's solicitor's trust account, not to the EVES Realty Trust account. 20 working days from today's date or such other date is mutually agreed between both parties. And channels list there, no changes there, Sam?
No changes, bro.
No changes. So you've got the light, bright, modern kitchen there. If you don't like cooking, folks, this kitchen is simply going to change that for you. The lovely mixture of contemporary and modern with the original features in the property as well. Oh, man, I can see a witch in that kitchen. I can see the smiles coming from behind the masks. Absolutely superb. And so the outdoor living, folks, well, think about that, what's on offer here. You've got the rumpus for the kids downstairs. This property has just got so much to offer. That is why it is in contract now and not lasting through to auction day. That contract has been signed at $1,750,000. I'm happy to take any advance on top of that. Perhaps a $5,000 rise, so I would suggest a $10,000 rise would probably be fair and reasonable for this property. $1,750,000 is the pre-auction contract. Happy to take anything on top if you need to be quick. First call now. Second, last chance, in or out. Sam B, no further bids on now to clear the property. Congratulations to our sellers. We'll be back here with a result on the cloud as soon as we possibly can, folks. Place to finish the day off too. You amended your bid from $800,000 to $850,000. Just confirm that, please. Correct. At $850,000, Lauren, you got the sellers on the phone there.
On video, in fact.
On video. So, what are my instructions, folks?
We're selling?
Yep. On the market we go there in favour of the gentleman in the back there at $850,000 for the want of a better bid. Once, twice, third, last chance quickly, it goes. Congratulations to Congratulations to our sellers. That concludes our offerings for the day. We will be back next week with another 20 other properties. We'll see you then, folks.